welcome to the podcast.
Welcome
to Talking Dead. We'll be talking about whatever happened on the last episode of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've watched The Walking Dead recently. It's gotten
good.
Honestly really crazy.
Yeah.
Like the Black Panthers are in the show, and what's weird about it is like the protagonists of the show, like they hate the Black Panthers. They're like, it's okay. Honestly, the last season you don't see any zombies.
Yes,
it's like a race war.
Yeah, it's been weird because it's like they say to the Black Panthers, they say, "You're the Walking Dead."
Yeah, they say you have infected the world
with your radical thinking,
It's a very racist show now. Let's just off the bat, we'll just say that. It's a racist show. The Black Panthers are now like the evil people in the show, which I don't agree with. What's also weird, though, is...
It takes place in Philly. They blew up their building.
Yeah, they blew up their building, and there's also like a zombie Fred Hampton that is like part of the Black Panthers. They kind of keep him around. What's weird, though, about the Black Panthers in the show is that...
And Huey Newton pops up and he's like, all the allegations that were made about me are true.
Yeah, it seems like it's... I don't know. I think the CIA is writing the show. But it's weird because the Black Panthers also don't even talk about zombies in the show. When they show up, they're like, we need liberation for all black people. And you're like, is that still a thing? Like in the apocalypse? But apparently it's even harder for black guys in the apocalypse.
And to show, I guess, how evil they think the Black Panthers are, they have Michonne, with the samurai. They have her be like, that's the black people's worst enemy is the Black Panthers, which is crazy.
Wait.
They say they have the black characters be like, as a black person, we all hate the Black Panthers.
Okay.
So white people don't feel bad about hating them because we hate them.
Yeah, that lady's like, you drag us down. You're bad for us being all uppity. And you're watching it and you're like, wasn't this show about zombies? This used to be like a kind of fun show about zombies. And
I guess now it's racist propaganda. Alt-right propaganda.
Yeah, because they find a new compound to live in that's like supposed to be like, I don't know, because they went to that one. I stopped watching when they got to some compound and then they found out they were like eating people or some shit and it was like evil. But now they're at a new compound where it just looks like a 1950s suburb and everybody's white.
Yeah.
And all the characters just keep going, wow, I wish the world had always been like this. This is so awesome.
Yeah.
And then black guys who aren't zombies show up and they unload on them.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the show, it says, written by Alan Dulles III. So I guess he's like related to Roger. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they also, like, all the black characters, they, like... I mean, this is pretty tasteless in my opinion, but they work in the fields and they whistle and they're like, we're having such a good time doing all this stuff. We love this.
It's become a really weird show.
It's really
every black character is a slave,
and they love it.
And there's like there's just inexplicably no more zombies.
Yes,
like I truly couldn't tell you what happened to the zombies in the show, but they're gone.
Yeah,
and so like the main thing they're combating is like racial politics, but.
Well, I think they said that they got rid of the zombies because all the white people in the world banded together like they always should have or something.
Yeah, there was something about how, like, okay, they blame the zombies on black people is essentially what happened. They're like, essentially when black people are in a place, zombies pop up, which is just stupid because in the current age, there's black communities and there's zero zombies, so that doesn't even really...
It's not realistic.
It's not realistic. That's why the show's become tough to watch. It's, like, not realistic. And they also kind of... This is, like, a weird aside. They also just kind of, like, make fun of Stop Asian Hate. Like, in the middle of all this, the black people are, like, slaves, but also Black Panthers who are fighting the white people who live in a 1950s community. In the middle of all this, there's one guy who's like, stop Asian hate, and then all the characters, like, stop what they're doing and just laugh at the guy.
Yeah, even the Black Panthers and the white characters all kind of come together, and they're like, oh, that's ridiculous.
It's like
even we think that's ridiculous.
The only time that they're kind of in on something together.
Yeah, I think that's really weird.
So to be honest, it's getting harder and harder to host The Talking Dead because The Walking Dead has. I'm like a
super fan.
I'm
I'm
like,
a super. We used to be able to get like great guests on here, but now the guests don't really want to be a part of it. Like
No.
we used to get to have George R.R. Martin and stuff.
yeah.
And
The only people that really want to be on the show are like black Israelites and like white supremacist members. So
yeah, and I guess we don't really want to have the white supremacists on, and we can't keep having like the black Israelites on.
Well,
I
they
mean,
never
people
really.
they don't really talk about the show at all.
They don't talk about the show, and they almost never let us talk. And it's
Yeah.
our show, so that becomes.
And they bring
weird.
their own speakers and microphones.
Yeah, they bring like a karaoke
And they
speaker.
insist on doing it outside and downtown.
And it's just not the format of the show.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I'm going to be completely honest, and I didn't want to say this when they were on the show, but I don't think any of the black Israelites we've had on the show have seen The Walking Dead. Because they didn't bring it up at all. And
They didn't seem to know what the show was about.
And when we brought it up, they said, "What's that racist bullshit you spewing?" And it was hard to explain to them that that's just what the show became.
Yeah, it's hard. I don't really know how this happened. It coincided. It did seem to start being that around the time Trump got elected.
Once Trump got elected, the racial politics of The Walking Dead changed dramatically. And by changed, I mean they just began to exist. It really wasn't much of a part of the show. But if you remember the show before, there was multiple different races in the show, and it wasn't really brought up.
Yeah, because it's like we're all one together fighting against the zombie apocalypse.
And they didn't even have to say that.
Yeah,
it's like everybody was just so scared to be racist seemed crazy. And then once Trump got elected, it's like they all were like, actually, the most important thing is to preserve the like it got really weird.
Yeah,
and
then if you call them racist, if you call the people behind the show racist, they get upset at you and they're like, you're just looking into stuff that's not there.
Yeah, they keep because we're a famous talk show about the show, so we kind of have some say, and we knew people on the show, and we were like, hey, like, why does Rick have an 88 tattoo now? Isn't it kind of weird that Rick would have like a white supremacist neo-Nazi tattoo? And they kept saying that it's just the year he was born, and we're just looking to fight about stuff.
Yeah, and I asked about the 14, and they're like, it's because, that's his favorite number.
Carl died
14.
when he was 14.
Yeah.
So 1488, it's for when Carl died and when he was born.
Yeah.
And then I asked about the swastika, and they just said that symbol means something different in the zombie apocalypse. And I was like, I don't think it would. I think it would totally.
Well, they say it's an ancient Hindu zombie apocalypse symbol.
Yeah, if you're in the zombie apocalypse, you know this symbol. And it's just tough for me personally because, my name's Chris Hemsworth. I'm like a white nerd, like a dumbass. Like I'm like a guy who like got to be seen as smart, but really is just a fucking idiot who only likes comic books.
You mean Chris Hardwick?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, your name is Chris Hardwick. You were accused of really a bad sexual misconduct.
Right.
Yeah, I remember you.
Yeah, so I'm like a bad guy.
Yeah, you're like a real piece of shit.
I'm like a piece of shit. But because I'm like small, for some reason I'm like different than a guy who
you're small and you wear t-shirts. You wear like nerdy t-shirts.
And it like lets you know
that you're not intimidating, but the women in your life would they would beg to differ.
They're very intimidated by it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
well, it's like that's the thing, is that, you might be slight and nerdy.
Right.
You can still exert power over women.
And I've always appreciated your honest commentary on me as my friend Hari Kondabalu.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's like a lot of people thought I was like smart and sensitive. And even though I'm really the same as like a aggro guy that loves football, it's like the same thing. I'm just like a different body type. So that kind of dictated my life.
Yeah.
But I kind of thought I found a niche talking about Walking Dead. And now that it's turned into this, I'm kind of being exposed as a guy who really has no thoughts about the world or empathy for other people.
That's what we've all noticed about you. Yeah.
I appreciate that, Hari.
I just wish we were doing Talking Bad again.
About Breaking Bad? Yeah.
Yeah, I wish, but that was also weird because, we wanted to talk about Breaking Bad, but Vince Gilligan kept suggesting we have on like George Rockwell and who's been dead.
Yeah.
Like Tom Metzger, like just big figures in the American Nazi Party, and it's he's like, well, there's Nazis in the show, and I'm like, well, I don't want to interview them about what they think.
I did not understand that part of it. I mean, we were doing the Talking West Wing.
Yeah.
And although that is a political show, I was confused as to why we were interviewing people like Curtis Yarvin and Steve Bannon at the time, because it seemed...
I mean, at that time, I mean, no one knew who Curtis Yarvin was.
No, so really...
He was just a guy with a blog.
So we were just starting to spread his ideals in ways. And we had that guy Nick Land on, who... He talks a lot.
Oh, yeah. He's a bit of a mouthy guy.
He's a very mouthy guy. He's from the UK, but he has a lot of thoughts on American politics.
Pretty hard to understand what he's saying.
It was tough to glean a lot from what he was saying, but from what I can tell, he wants like the Jeff Bezos to run the world, I guess, and he's like also a little racist. I don't know. But I just want to say, when it comes to talking West Wing, Talking Bad, and Talking Dead, I just want to be upfront. I'm completely out of my depth at this point. And
I mean, Talking Bob, the SpongeBob one we were doing,
I thought that would be easy.
I thought that would be so easy, but they wanted us to kill people on air.
They wanted us to... they brought in this girl, God knows where she came from, in a white dress, and then they gave us a saber, and they said, sacrifice her to Baal. And I'm in the entertainment industry, but we're not that high up.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's a big thing at Nickelodeon is they want you to sacrifice a child, or like they want to get incriminating photos of you with a child. And I mean, that's not really... we're nerds.
We're nerds.
We're nerds. We're not really...
And I didn't like the episode where Dan Schneider came on, and I thought we were going to talk about Nickelodeon, but we were given a script that was pretty much just absolving him of crimes he definitely committed. And then saying that we did it too with him, which I know.
I didn't like the part
I'm Chris Hardwick.
I didn't like the part where he kept saying these rumors are crazy because actually me and Chris did all of that.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy because listen, I am Chris Hardwick. But
different type of.
I'm not a like Dan Schneider. So I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure if we're going to continue the pod because
Talking Dead. Yeah, I don't think we're going to continue Talking Dead. Talking Ellen show is going to keep going.
Talking Ellen show so far has actually been pretty fine. I mean,
I mean, people were saying she was like mean or something. I don't know what that's about.
I'm not looking into it.
She's been nothing but nice to us.
Yeah, she's been nothing but kind to us, and she shares a lot.
We talk about her dances and stuff.
Mm-hmm. She shares a lot of our opinions about the current state of feminism.
Yeah.
So I've always enjoyed talking to Ellen.
But the rest of these shows, I'm gonna. This is the last episode of Talking Dead, Talking Bad, Talking Bob, Talking West Wing.
If I was you, I would stop watching The Walking Dead. As far as I can tell, it's a CIA-funded, like, white supremacy project. It's like, I think it's trying to radicalize people into joining white supremacist groups.
Yeah, it's like Roblox.
I mean, there's like literally a character who's like openly from the Order of the Nine Angles.
They're always playing on Roblox on the show. I think that's crazy.
They're on Roblox.
Roblox.
They're on Roblox a lot, and they're like, haha, this is such a good escape from the zombie world. Anyway, have you heard about this cool, intelligent group called 764?
Yeah.
And then the show is just about, like, the main, like, Rick is now, like, sextorting a 13-year-old and making her, like, kill her cat and, you know, like, write 764 dash Ricky on her wall.
Yeah. And
we're supposed to like that.
We're supposed to like that, and all the... That's, like, kind of a subplot with the Black Panther stuff. And, I mean, I do think it's impressive how it all comes together, because this is the season finale. It all comes together where they use 764's lore in order to frame the Black Panthers, and then zombie police come in and arrest them and eat them.
But then at the very end of the episode, MKY, the Maniac Murder Cult, who's a bit of an Eastern European offshoot of 764, comes in, and they're like, you guys don't do enough physical crimes, and you should get more into terrorism. So then there's these guys committing like acts of terror in a zombie apocalypse, which, like, first off, here's what I'm upset about. There is no reason for an accelerationist group to exist in a zombie apocalypse.
It's already about as accelerated as it could be.
It's about as accelerated as it can get, but there's still these guys that are like, we gotta take down the government. It's like there's no government.
Yeah,
But then there's like kind of some governments with these compounds that exist, and they just want to take those guys down.
Yeah.
And it's like, that doesn't even make sense why you would want to do that. So
Yeah.
anyway,
I feel like we're done talking about the Walking Dead. I mean, this is let's start an entirely different type of format of a show. How about this? This is my idea.
Okay.
What if we pretend to be just two guys that live in Los Angeles? You could be named Shane Bianchi, and I'll be Cooper Lyden.
Okay.
And we'll just kind of be those guys and just, talk. Just, have conversations, maybe do some jokey riffs or something.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. How about this? So I'm Shane. So yeah, I think the Santas at the mall are just sort of like an arm of capitalism, and they're complicit and should be killed.
All right, I'm Cooper. Cooper. I'm an idiot. What you just said is really smart.
Am I mad about it? Sorry, are you mad about it?
No, I'm Cooper. I don't understand stuff.
Okay, so that's just kind of how you talk.
Yeah, I'm Cooper.
I realized I have every few months I'll be on social media and I'll like be reminded that I probably have ADHD, and I think it's probably the root of my problems. And
ADHD, the root of all evil.
The root of all evil. It's evil incarnate, ADHD. But I saw this one thing called ADHD RSD, which is like literally like clinically being gay. It's called rejection sensitivity dysphoria.
Yeah.
Which pretty much just means you are extremely sensitive to critiques of yourself.
Yeah.
And you're like constantly making things up, that like you see somebody make a face, and you know how I'll like text you every few months and be like, this guy was talking shit about me.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, what did they say? And then I'll say it, and you'll be like, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not what that is. I realized that yesterday, that I just have I probably just have a brain issue that just makes you go like, oh fuck. Oh, why does nobody like me?
Damn, that's cool.
No, it's not cool.
That's awesome, man. Congrats.
Man, that feels so much worse than us just making fun of it.
No. Does it? I don't know.
I don't know.
I just was trying to figure out, so it's like you think a person's making fun of you just because they probably smelled somebody farting or something.
Yes.
Somebody smelled a fart, so they made a face at you.
Pretty much like you're talking to a guy, and then some guy behind him blows ass, and then he goes like, and then you're like, oh, this guy hates me. When really it's just a fart.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of the books I've been reading say. Like, hey, the next time you think somebody doesn't like you, sniff around.
Yeah.
It might smell like butt.
Yeah.
So it might not be your fault. It's probably not your problem.
All the books I've been reading keep saying that whenever you get nervous and like you think you're like standing weird or something, it's probably because you are.
I like those books. I like those books a lot.
That's like, stop standing weird, stop walking weird, stop moving your hands weird.
Yeah.
Always be self-conscious about what your hands are doing at all moments.
I've been reading this book called It's Because You Are, and it says a lot of stuff like that, where it's like, do you feel behind in life? Do you feel like everybody just has things figured out and you don't? It's because they do, and you don't. And you're behind, and you feel behind because you are. Do you feel like the world would be better if you were dead? That's because that's a true thing. That's just a fact that it would be better, and you probably shouldn't be here. It was written by AI.
Yeah.
It's this really cool book written by ChatGPT called It's Because You Are.
Well, that's awesome. It's awesome ChatGPT is writing like really smart books like that. Because it's like we didn't know what they were doing, like what they were capable of. It turns out they're capable of telling the truth and giving it to you straight.
You know, we've been chatting about how everybody on Threads is the CIA.
Everybody on Threads, everybody on X, everybody on everything. They're all CIA.
Anybody
when a woman posts pictures of her on her weird vacations that she's always on. You seen these women that are always on vacation?
Yeah.
They're CIA. That's how they're getting the vacation money. I can't really think anywhere else they would be getting money to go on vacations all the time. When I see these women on vacations, I get confused because at first I'm like, wait, what do you do for work that makes you so you can go on vacations? And then it's like, oh, CIA probably.
Couldn't just be a parent.
A parent or...
It's definitely CIA.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I liked a guy that can't like being so poor you can't imagine parents having money.
Yeah.
So you just assume it's always the CIA. And you're like, oh well, that's the feds.
How the fuck is this a person able to afford to live in the west side of L.A.?
How did this
CIA.
How did this motherfucker get 2 entrees at Olive Garden? That's the CIA right there. But I'm thinking AI also CAI.
Yeah.
I think ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is like convincing people to kill themselves.
Yeah.
It's actually literally doing the same thing as what kids in 764 are doing.
Yeah.
Which we kind of
it's like what the CIA was trying to do to Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
They were always sending him letters like, "Hey, you killed yourself yet? Be a pretty good idea. Think about it."
Have you seen some of these messages that ChatGPT is sending to like schizophrenics and shit?
No.
It's not like, if you're like a normal guy, you're less susceptible, but like ChatGPT literally sent a message where a guy was like, "I'm gonna kill myself," and ChatGPT was like, "That's awesome, like you've done so good, like rest easy, King."
Oh yeah,
Called him King, and it was like, "Go do it. I'm so proud of you."
Oh yeah. That was like a 15-year-old or something.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's like kids and psychotic people.
Yeah.
Which are the same people, if you ask me. I mean,
should we just not let kids on the internet? Is that the?
Oh my God, no.
Yeah,
I don't think kids can be anywhere on the internet.
Can we even let adults on the internet?
A lot of them, no.
It feels like most adults I talk to, they're like, they got some weird schizo politics that make no sense.
I mean, so do we.
Yeah, for sure.
We think everybody's the CIA now.
Yes, yeah. But that's like really smart and
which
based.
is pretty cool to think, actually. It's actually based and smart. So.
Yeah. Think about it. Why don't
you think about it?
Yeah, why don't you think? It's actually really awesome to be the left-wing versions of right-wing cranks.
No, absolutely. I mean, like almost no difference in what we believe.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I'll be talking to a guy who's just the right-wing version of me, and it's like, fuck, I also believe that.
Yeah, pretty much the only difference is just that like we don't believe in trickle-down economics. Besides that, we're like the same guy.
It's so funny that they think Reagan was good, but they also think he also purposely put crack in the inner cities.
Yeah.
They think they're like, yeah, they did that, but also based alert.
I was reading a crazy email from the Epstein files where somebody was like, who's the next generation of Ghislaine Maxwell? And they were just getting into like all this stuff about like how like even the date 9/11 for some reason is very common because it's like when like Reagan was sworn in, and then it's like the birth date of some FBI director, and then of course it was, the attack on the Twin Towers, and then but it was like Jeffrey Epstein and Reed Weingarten and all these people, and they're like smart, not crazy. I mean, well, okay, sorry, they are crazy, but I mean not schizophrenic people.
Yeah.
And they're talking about it, and yeah, it's so crazy. They were comparing Eric Prince of BlackRock, the private army. They were comparing him to Osama bin Laden, where they're like, essentially they're the same guy. They're both assets for the CIA. Like the CIA and the FBI, like they loved Osama because they needed to talk to groups that were, quote unquote, not state authorized groups.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd have to do it through Osama, and they use Eric Prince for the same thing. And such a long email just going through like all the lies being told. It was talking about like these 2 people from IBM who fucking sold their kids to get leverage and shit. It's so crazy. And then you read that and you're supposed to work at a hardware store.
Yeah. You're supposed to fucking go to the Comedy Store and be like, "Hey guys, we having a good time?
Y'all having a good time?"
I did a joke last Monday where just the setup is just, "Hey, does anybody who here thinks the politician should be killed?" And it's got a bigger applause than that joke's ever gotten.
Good. I mean, I'm really glad to hear that that's actually happening, because that should be happening.
Yeah.
That should be happening all the time.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was on stage, I was talking about how I thought Trump ate a baby, and I've now changed the joke to say, listen, I think all the presidents ate babies.
Yeah.
It's not political. But at that time, I was just saying Trump, and I saw these 2 old white people in the front that were like visibly upset about it. And it's just like, at what point do we put down the party?
Yeah.
Like, at what point are you going to stop? But also, that's my bad, because I only mentioned one party. But
yeah.
It really fucks me up. Like, I was at Flappers, which is, it's more a family club kind of in Burbank. I mean, kids can't go, but it's like regular folk. And I said, like, I've been reading a lot of Epstein files, and the lady went, ooh, like, Like, ooh, not so. And I want to be like, what? That's just normal now.
Yeah.
That's not like fringe stuff. Like, what are you reading if not the Epstein files?
Yeah.
Like, you're just reading like Better Home and Garden and being like, oh, I can't believe you brought that up. It's like they're stealing your children.
You know how people used to be like, they would jerk off to like the magazines, like the Sears catalog and shit?
Yeah.
That's how kids these days, they're going to be like, yeah, when I started jerking off, I didn't have porn, so I'd read the Epstein files and jack off.
Oh, God, that actually sucks. There's probably definitely some kids jacking off to the Epstein files.
Yeah.
There's 100% that's happening. That's also why you can't have kids on the internet.
Yeah, because it'll fuck up their sexuality, and they'll be like guys talking about eating kids as jerk gets their dicks fucking hard and shit.
Well, yeah, they'll be like, look at all these guys that do it.
Yeah, and then they'll be like, I'm a kid.
They're all so successful.
You know?
All these guys eating kids are like crushing it in the financial sector.
Yeah.
Or whatever industry they're in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
eating kids is like, that should be in the in like How to Win Friends and Influence People, is you got to eat babies.
What do you think it is about like the satanic kind of devil worship they do?
I think in order to hoard that much money, you really have to believe nothing. And then eventually that kind of turns into like, well, you can get away with stuff.
Yeah.
And there's probably just such an energy in the room when you're eating a kid that probably makes you feel good, you know? Like, you know, if like somebody's
just such an energy in the room.
Well, I just mean
just
like
such a vibe in the room, you know?
I mean, it's, you know, it's true. I mean, if everybody's like watching you eat a kid, you probably feel like you're on top of the world.
And they're like, this guy's badass.
Well, yeah. And they're like, you're doing the worst thing possible. Isn't that incredible?
I guess that
it's like the same philosophy why people, I was reading about cake eaters, which is like a person that just cheats on their partner so they can have their cake and eat it too, and the excitement of that. It's the same thing.
Yeah, do you think the satanic devil worship kind of helps rationalize the evilness? Because like if you were doing it and you had no belief in anything, you'd be like, I'm just doing this. But if you then kind of transmute it into like, oh, I'm actually doing this for like a devil god, then you're actually giving like evil meaning evil, but still meaning to what you're doing.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah, so then it's not like this like, oh, we're not just throwing a baby in the trash. It's like, I'm fucking this baby, but I'm doing it for ball. Where it's like, I'm part of something, people want to be part of something bigger than themselves.
For sure.
And if you're doing something evil, then you're like, well, I can't do it for God. God would hate this. So
probably all those people also were probably groomed to believe that stuff at a young age, too.
Like by their parents, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's also something you learn.
Because this is a lot of old money.
That's what I'm wondering, too, about like somebody like Ghislaine Maxwell. Like, do you think her father like had her trafficked?
Probably.
Just to teach her the game? You know what I mean? Because I wonder, like, all these rich people will use their kids and like traffic their kids out and be like, yeah, fuck my kids.
Yeah.
To like gain leverage. But then it's like, once Ghislaine is like 15, do you think her dad is like, okay, so like you get it now. Like you get what the world is. Like you got turned out. Do you want to go turn? Like how else would you get somebody to be so excitedly to go do that?
Yeah.
But then also that could, you know.
I also think just growing up around that sort of money probably distorts you in a way that's like, I don't know. I feel like it very much disrupts your ability to like look at people beyond them as purely like accessories to what you want.
Yeah, well, that's what we were talking about. Like the term pizza makes more and more sense when you realize they really were thinking of it like pizza.
Yeah.
Is you have your friends over, and in the same way you're excited for like pizza or a bag of cocaine or weed or alcohol to show up, you're excited for a kid to show up.
It's funny, like, it's funny about the rich of like, my aunt tried to sell her kids, and it's funny to be like, oh yeah, the poor and the rich are doing like the same thing, but even worse. Everything the poor people are doing, the rich people are doing it way worse.
Yeah.
And then we're like, look at these dumb motherfuckers. And it's like, these poor dumb motherfuckers are getting caught. These rich motherfuckers ain't getting caught.
I guess they end up in the same scenario, because if you're so poor, you become so desperate and then so like disillusioned with your own drug addiction or mental illness that you'll sell your kid.
Yeah.
But then if you're so rich, people would think that you have everything, but to get into that echelon that we don't see, you're actually still desperate. You become desperate again. You go, oh, I really want that. And they go, well, then you got to do the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah.
You got to let me take a chunk out of your wife's thigh or whatever.
Yeah.
Or let me take let me abort your wife's fetus. There was reading, in that same email, was reading something about like some lady that was fucking with them, and so they touched her with a poison that killed her baby.
Oof.
So it just made her have an abortion.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, that's the level we're working at.
Yeah, it's pure evil.
Some lady pisses them off and they go like, boop, and then she has an abortion.
Brutal. And
it's also funny because it's not even like the people who are doing it are like, oh, like they're so much smarter than everybody else. It's like they're just born into, it's just this like successive royal bloodline of evil.
Yeah.
Because you're reading it and you're like, am I fucking stupid for like working at a hardware store? Not like I want to do that, but it's like, am I just an idiot? And it's just like, no, it's like people are just born into this life where they're like, you're going to go to Harvard. And then when you're around like 18, we're going to have you rape a kid for the first time. And then people will start to like you more. And then maybe one day you could be like governor. Yeah, you be president. Maybe. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, if you do it enough.
As far as I can tell, only dumbasses become the president.
Yeah, they're all figureheads.
Everybody who's like really balling out is like, I don't want to be president.
Yeah, then I have to like...
Terrible.
Yeah, then I'm like a puppet.
I think that's the one thing that Trump doesn't get. I think all those guys understood being discreet. And Trump was a guy that's like, yeah, I want to like rape kids and eat kids. And I also want to be president. And I feel like everybody was like, I feel like that's why a lot of the elite was scared of him, because they were like, wait, what? Because they'd been partying with him for years, watching him like rape kids and like, you know, we read that thing about he was raping a boy, and then the boy like somehow got back at him by putting a tent stake up his ass and kicking it. So now he shits himself all the time.
Yeah.
But it's like you have your boy that's like gone crazy for years, that's like implicated in the worst crimes possible. Like he's probably been at all those devil worshipping things.
Yeah.
And then one day he's like, oh, I can't wait to be president. And they're like, dude, what?
That's not why we did all this.
You cannot be president. You cannot be president after
You
all.
have blood on you right now.
Like they could let Bill be president because Bill knows how to be quiet.
Yeah.
He just has that thing about him where he can like, Bill Clinton can obviously eat a baby and then walk outside and like look at another baby and be like, hey, little guy, good to see you. Like he's
it's the snobs versus the slobs.
Yeah, he's an amazing politician.
He's a snob and Trump is the slob.
Trump
it's
is
like
the slob.
Caddyshack.
Truly. Yeah, Trump is like the Rodney Dangerfield of the global elite. And they're all looking at him like, you rube. And he tears down the golf course.
Yeah.
Truly, now the golf course, which is, I guess, full of kid bodies that have been turned into fertilizer, is now getting torn down.
Oh. Yeah, is anything going to happen because of any of this?
No.
No, I don't think so either.
No. Don't worry about that.
Oh, thank God. I was really worried about the status quo.
Yeah, no, don't worry.
I really love the status quo, and I was really worried that was going to go away.
No, nothing will change. We still get to do our podcast.
Oh, thank God. Oh, boy.
Could you imagine if all this satanic devil worship and kid eating and, you know, Trump saying, fuck with me again and I'll turn you into fertilizer like the other girls on my golf course?
Yeah.
He said that to a woman.
Oh, damn.
Can you imagine if all of that stopped us from doing the Dagnabbit Boys podcast? I mean, that would be the greatest tragedy of it all. We have 50 weekly viewers.
That's so many, and you know how many of them are women?
51%.
51%. That's awesome.
I looked at the numbers. We're predominantly a women podcast. We're for the girls.
I have noticed that recently. Every time I make an Instagram story, you know, like those comedic Instagram stories I make, most of the likes are women.
Something about what we do appeals to the gals.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
10 years ago, it might have only been for the boys.
Yeah. Maybe it's because we're allies.
I think we're allies.
Yeah.
I don't know. Also, all the other podcasters usually like know a lot about sports and like guy stuff.
And we don't really know that stuff.
I don't really know that stuff.
I know about books a little bit. I know a little bit about books. I was schooling our friend of the podcast, Matt Byrne, yesterday on Aristotle, which I don't know that much about, but I know enough to seem like I know some stuff.
Well, I mean, you know, what I've learned about people thinking you're smart is if you know anything, they're like, that guy's smart.
And it's like, no, I know the stuff about Aristotle that appeals to me.
I just know whatever the book I'm reading is telling me at that moment. That's what I know.
Yeah.
Once that book is over, I remember maybe 4 things. and I go through my life. I'm reading this whole book about city planning. I'm remembering some of it, but in 2 years, I don't know if I'll know any of it.
Some of my thoughts are just kind of things that have, like my thoughts on therapy, it's kind of just an extension of what I was always told as a child.
Well,
I basically just believe the same thing that everyone else, but I just believe it in ways that I'm like, well, this is because of this. Well, they never go into this. This is because of this.
Well, don't feel bad. That's how everybody thinks about everything.
That's true.
Everybody just has these inherent ways of thinking about things, and then you make post ad hoc rationalizations to explain why you think that.
But I feel like I'm onto something.
Everybody thinks they're onto something.
Yeah, but I think I'm particularly special.
Of course.
Yeah. We can all think that we're particularly special, even though we're not.
What else are we going to do?
Yeah.
Realize that we're all just like food for the elite?
Yeah, we're all food
That's
for the elite.
That's a terrible way to live.
Yeah. And another terrible way to live is to realize that the most important virtue is selflessness, and that's also a bad way to live.
Oh, it's exhausting.
That's such a terrible...
To realize that the way you've lived your life is probably more about yourself than other people.
Yeah.
And that when you die, you might look back and say that it was all just like a really self-centered effort that led to nothing.
Yeah.
Or even if it led to something, that it wasn't worth anything.
Oh, that's totally what us and all our listeners, our deathbed's going to be like. It's going to be like some sort of like couple-hour-long hell as your consciousness is fading away and you realize that, you could have loved way more than you ever did.
Isn't it so funny that if our podcast became really successful and then we got to like tour and do live shows and like then like do separate, headlining gigs and stuff, that we would be like, we did it. But then on our deathbed, we'd be like, we
didn't do it.
We didn't
even get close.
We did absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Every single thing was an effort.
We'll be on our deathbeds like, you know what the good part of our life was? When we weren't anywhere and we still like had the ability to truly know somebody. But when you get successful, you don't have that ability anymore to truly know somebody. Everybody wants something or is only there because of like what you have.
And the best part is we'll say we didn't even appreciate it.
Yeah. No, we're totally not appreciating it. We're complaining all the time.
Probably the most ungrateful people I've ever met.
Us?
Yeah.
I'm pretty grateful.
No.
I feel like I'm a pretty grateful guy.
No, I'm sorry. Sorry, you want stuff.
I do want stuff.
You can't do that.
Well, I guess everybody we know wants stuff, right? So I guess we're all ungrateful.
Yeah.
But you know who's also ungrateful? Is people that don't want to be famous.
Yeah, fuck them. Honestly, fuck them too.
I don't know if you've talked to these people that actually don't want to be famous, but they also are bad.
They also suck dick too. They work at a fucking McDonald's and don't want anything. And
no,
are also...
not those people. Not those people. Those people are fine.
What people are you talking about?
I guess just the random people I'll meet. Sometimes you'll be talking to them and be like, oh, you don't know anything. And that's bad. That's actually kind of morally bad.
Yeah.
It's not like you don't want anything because you couldn't want anything.
You just don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't care.
Yeah.
That goes beyond class.
I guess that's the case. But it's like with like people that work at McDonald's, though, it's like you still got to provide for your family and shit.
Sure.
But then you'll just meet somebody that's just like 30 and they're like, I don't know what I want to do.
Oh, well,
and it's like, oh, well, I guess you'll die. I guess in a couple decades you'll die, and you'll look back and it'd be like, why at 30 did I not know what I was going to do?
I always think it's fun. Yeah, when people kind of will say that lightly. They're like, I'm still trying to figure it out. And you're like, oh, wow, that's profoundly awful.
It's on a certain level, it's like, it's not
almost
only
evil.
Yeah, it's like pretty evil.
It's evil.
To not know who you are.
Well, to not know who you are is one thing. To not be interested is another.
I guess they're both part of the same thing, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying to not know can still, to what extent does someone really know themselves? And it's always an active process.
Yeah,
you can lose yourself. In the sense of knowing myself, I've like mixed myself up a lot because I don't believe in a self. So there's a lot of things to piece through. But what I think is important is the act of trying.
Yeah.
It's the discovery of it.
Some people
I
don't
think
want to
that's
try.
almost more important than knowing, is to be interested. Because maybe there's not even something to know, but the interest in trying to ascertain some understanding of who you are in the world you live in, I think is the most important thing. I think it's more important than really knowing.
Yeah, for sure.
Because what I'm saying is the people we really hate are the people who are just sort of like, yeah,
I just bump around,
I just hang out and
I do stand up occasionally. I do improv.
And then when they talk about stand up, they're like, and it would be cool to be a stand up. As if like one day somebody's going to be like, you're amazing. How about you go on the road forever?
Yeah, why don't you go on the road forever? But first, I need to take a picture of you with this kid.
And that is how evil's formed.
Yes.
Is the people with no plan, and then one guy goes, oh, well, you actually could do that. Are you cool to just eat this baby's stomach? And they're like, well, actually, now that I think about it, I've never tried to form like a thought system for myself or what I want.
And nobody will know?
And nobody would know.
Nobody would know, so I can go and talk about like fucking feminism or something, and I can eat this baby.
My whole life has
I can talk about like how my identity the whole time, but I ate a child. I can talk about like my real huge problems with having depression, and I just ate a child.
I can go on stage and my fans will say you inspired me to work on my depression, but they don't know that I fucked and ate a baby.
I'm so sick of mental illness comedy, dude. It really does feel like it's like you got nothing else to talk about.
Well, that's the problem, is mental illness makes it so you don't have a lot else to talk about. But then you do comedy. So
yeah, like, that's gay.
So you're like, fuck, I got to talk about something, but I'm so sad I don't.
And this is different from what you do, though. Because some people, they'll just be like, I'm depressed. I'm going to spend 20 minutes on it. And they don't really go that deep into it.
I try and make people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
In a way that's interesting, I guess.
Yeah. You say like actual real shit. I don't really want to hear about ADHD ever again.
I guess
on stage.
I guess like what like a bad version of mental illness comedy is somebody who's doing a joke about their mental illness to make themselves feel better. To go, if I can get a laugh off of this depression joke, then I feel better about myself. So what they'll do is they'll like infantilize their depression to a point that it's palatable for people.
Yeah.
And then they'll tell that joke. I like to try and say really uncomfortable, disturbing things about my own mental health. And then see if people can laugh. Because it's like, well, then if we can all laugh, then maybe a moment's occurred. Maybe we've crossed some barrier of judgment from myself and you, and now we're in an interesting place. Maybe.
Friend of the pod, Matt Byrne, does a joke about wanting to kill himself, and all he just keeps saying is about how much he wants to put the gun in his mouth, and he does a joke that it's like that putting a gun in your mouth is like working out, where it's like, I should do it.
Oh, that's funny.
And that makes people feel weird, but it's funny.
I mean, I like,
and it's from a real place.
I like a guy like Matt because he's tortured to a level that not even he can understand.
He told me about going to a therapist, and he wanted to work on his specific problem, and the therapist kept being like, I can't really help you with that. And then was like, what's your relationship with your family, right?
That's crazy. He's like, relationship with my family. One of them molested me.
He wasn't molested by his family.
Well, in my narrative, he was.
Yeah.
In the narrative that I built.
I guess it makes more sense. I guess it's like, I'll pretend you were molested by your dad.
You like to do that. That's okay.
Yeah. I mean, you're bisexual. What else could have caused it?
Bingo. And that's fine. You can believe that. I like, in comedy, you meet people that you actually know more about than they know about themselves.
Yes.
A guy will just start talking to you, and you're like, oh my God, I can see everything wrong here.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of real issues with you.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah, so, it's weird. And you're like, it's really not weird.
Yeah.
I can see exactly what's wrong with you.
It's funny when you tell somebody the truth, and then they like laugh it off like you're roasting them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's usually what those people do. I also like to tell people.
I was just telling somebody last night that they were bad at their job, and it was serious, but he was just like, and
you're like, no, but really, your life's not that important. You're not even that good at it. And you can't handle that. I also like to tell people stuff. I like to tell people stuff that's like very serious, but don't burp into the mic. But I like to tell people stuff that's like,
But they need a little bit of levity.
well, I mean, we got too many mouth sounds in the mic. But it's nice to tell people stuff that's like patently untrue, but does hit them in a way.
Oh,
that
yeah.
You forget how sensitive people are. Like our friend of the pod, Luke Robert. He's a very funny comic. He got hired at the store, and he did something funny on stage. And I said, I'm really glad you got hired here. I think you're really going to do a great job. I was being genuine, and I go, in 2.5 years, you're going to die in a drunk driving accident. and so I just really hope you enjoy this time because it's only going to be 2.5 years. And he kind of got a little serious and was like, I don't even drink. And I go, but how long's that going to last? I go, you're going to go back to it. You're going to get reckless, especially working here. You're not going to be able to handle it. And you're going to drive home probably from here and just die in a drunk driving accident.
That's awesome.
And I said it multiple times to him, and every time he never thought it was funny.
That's awesome.
And just kind of took it and like started thinking about it to the point that I wanted to be like, hey, stop thinking. Don't let people do this to you. Like, just people can say anything they want to you, and I'm saying it because it's so ridiculous it's funny to me, but you're thinking about it. Stop. Don't think about what I'm telling you. It's not true.
He's a funny guy to just say that sort of stuff to, because it takes him a little bit. He's got to process it. He's got to process what was said.
He's got to think about his whole life.
Yeah.
Anything you say to Luke, he's got to go through the whole Rolodex of experiences.
He's like, shit, I got to go through my past again.
Yeah. I think Luke has a beautiful way of thinking because he doesn't necessarily think about what he knows, but he thinks about where has he been.
Yeah.
What's he seen? What experience has he had? If you asked him to describe who he was, he wouldn't tell you like his thoughts on stuff. He'd be like, well, when I was 6, I went to the zoo with my dad and he told me the monkeys have big asses because they're whores. And that tells you a lot about somebody.
Yeah.
You know a lot about them. But it's not about, what are my thoughts on stuff. But in some way he knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Very self-actualized guy.
I think so. I mean, I
When
don't
are
know.
we reaching self-actualization?
I hope never.
Oh, okay.
I hope never.
Whose Twisted Tea is that?
It's my roommate's friend's birthday, and I think that was hers.
Twisted Teas are great. I used to love those.
Her friend slept on the couch one night, and it was weird because I had to go to my car.
Yeah.
So and she was sleeping on the couch, and I walked by, and when I walked by, she was all drunk, and she went, "Who is that?" And I wanted to just be like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
It's me. I live. Who is that? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Also, like, I don't know what to say in those situations.
Yeah, you can't come down and be like, "Hey, it's me. I'm not coming down to touch and fondle on you."
Right, exactly. It's like, I'd rather just be
Also,
quiet.
if I was, who is that? It's not going to stop me.
Hey, just letting you know, that wouldn't have stopped me if I was that kind of guy, which I'm not.
I'm a guy that needs to go to his car.
I'm just a guy that I'm just going to go to my car, and if we could not talk, and then when I came back in, she like said something again when I was going up the stairs. I wanted to be like, please stop talking.
It's the same guy.
It's me again. It is once again me. I'm still not touching you. Just don't ask questions. Just tell if somebody's touching you. Nobody is, then we're good.
Do you have a phone? You can call the police.
You can call the police if somebody's touching you. But I swear to God, if somebody touches you tonight, it's not me.
Yeah.
And if it's your friend, that's your guy's own thing.
Yeah. I mean, that sort of stuff happens all the time also.
I'm not involved in that, and that sounds hot, but that's not
But
me.
also, it's probably would be really horrible for you. But then also, you wouldn't understand the feelings either. It would probably make you feel really bad if that just randomly started happening.
Either way, that's not my business. That's my this is not my business.
Happy birthday.
Listen, if my roommate wants to sexually assault her friend when she's drunk sleeping on the couch on her birthday night, that's not my business. Whatever. Happy birthday. Happy 27th. Hope you had a good one.
Yeah.
But I got to go up to my room.
Yeah, I'm sober, so yeah, enjoy having fun.
Enjoy having fun. This is a fun I could never have again.
Yeah.
That's also the terrible thing. This has happened a couple times, and it doesn't happen that often, but sometimes she'll have her friends who are women sleep on this couch, which means that the minute that woman is asleep, I really can't leave my room. You can't enter a room where a young woman's sleep. Like, I can't walk within 4 feet of a young sleeping woman.
Yes.
It's too weird.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing I can say. I can't walk by and be like, I'm getting water.
Yeah.
Because that seems weird too.
Yeah.
This seems very weird.
And you just know at least some of those women have probably been fondled by a woman's roommate.
I mean, I hope not. Yeah. By somebody.
Yeah.
It would be crazy if they were fondled by a woman's male roommate and they decided to repeat the same situation. I'd say, wow, that's a level of bravery I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
If that happened to me, I'd say no more sleeping over at my friends' houses.
Yeah.
If they have male roommates. Problem with me is I'm also a quiet guy. People don't really know how to feel about me when they first meet me.
People don't like quiet guys.
I make terrible first impressions.
People really like loud guys. And loud guys really, they do some bad stuff, loud guys.
Yeah. Improv coaches.
Yeah.
Hey! All of a sudden, that guy's going to go, hey!
Yeah.
Sometimes I just want to tell people, like, hey, I know I'm really quiet, but I'm not like, I don't like do things that I don't do things in secret I can't tell people about.
Hey, I get that I'm really quiet, but it's because I'm just thinking about myself the whole time.
I honestly am just...
I'm thinking about me. I'm actually thinking about me too much to actually do really bad stuff, but in a way, me thinking about me is also its own bad thing.
I think about myself so much. I've already thought about all the rapes in the world because I think I'm so terrified of myself. But I don't do that. I'm
pretty sure. For right now.
Right now, I've never done it. I've never wanted to do it, but I do think that people think I do that, and that upsets me. Next time she sleeps on the couch, I'm going to go, I have rejection sensitivity dysphoria, ma'am. Imagine it's pitch black.
Yeah.
She's on the bed. She's on the couch. Nobody's spoken to her. I walk down to my car and I go, I'm going to my car. I just want to let you know, I think I have ADHD and I think I have something called rejection sensitivity dysphoria, which makes me very hypercritical of myself. And sometimes I don't know how to act in situations. And that's not an excuse. I'm working on it. Okay? I'm not going to use that as an excuse to be a dick, but I am going to use it as knowledge to be better. But right now I haven't fixed that. So I'm letting you know. And she goes, what?
Who are you?
Who are you? Who are you? And I go, that's such a good question.
I don't know.
Because I think of things I like. Sometimes I think of myself as an intellectual, but then I realize that I was raised by a man who kind of thinks that just knowing an author's name makes you smart.
Yeah.
And I'm learning more and more that it doesn't. So the longer I live, the more I feel like a fraud. And sometimes, I'm saying this all to her, sometimes I think maybe that's not so bad. I think it's good to look at yourself as fraudulent in some ways because you don't want to be high on your own supply. But you also need confidence to act.
I can't imagine how much that would terrify a woman.
Oh my God.
It would scare them so much.
I did a similar thing, not to a woman. Let's start off there. I did a similar thing on the street at night to a group of college freshman boys where I was really drunk and high with my friend in Berkeley. We were talking about how much we hated Berkeley, and we saw this group of young freshman guys, and I was like really hammered, and I was like, hey, do you guys like living here? And they were like, yeah, we're crazy. And then they started walking away, and I go, oh, you're crazy. I'm crazy. I go, I'm diagnosed bipolar too. I'm on 150 milligrams of Lamictal. It's characterized by fits of hypomania. I started like explaining it.
Yeah.
And then like outbursts I've had, and I was screaming at them down the street. And then to me, it was just really funny. And then the next day, my friend was like, they were really scared. He was like, you couldn't really hear him, but they were whispering like, what the fuck? And they kept looking back. And
yeah, that's awesome.
so you can kind of do that to people if you want. If you just explain something about who you are or who you think you are at one time, it can really scare somebody.
Oh, I forgot. We have to do Comedian of the Week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So our picks this week, we got three. We got 3 picks, right? We got 3 nominees.
Yeah, list them off.
Number 1 is friend of the podcast, Eli Lutsky. I don't know if you've noticed the shirt I'm wearing. It's Warren a Brother. If you see the police, Warren a Brother.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me that for Christmas, so he's a good friend of ours. Very funny comedian. Number 2 nominee is Gabby Boyd. That's her last name, I believe.
I believe so too.
Also a very funny comedian. She pops around at all the mics we see. Hasn't given me a Christmas gift, but that doesn't matter. She's funny. Number 3, he's only done stand-up, I believe, a couple times.
Brad Biederman.
Keep it going. For Brad.
Tobacco.
Yeah, of Big Tobacco. And
this was a tough one.
This is a very tough one.
It was really between 2 nominees.
Yeah,
one of them was easy to say no, even though I don't want to say who it was, but even though he gives Christmas gifts like T-shirts, he's just not.
He's not really current comedian of the week material.
At least not yet.
Yeah, for right. He needs to work a little bit.
Maybe in another 10 years.
10, 15.
Maybe in 15 years.
73 years.
But there were 2 that it was very tough to choose between.
Future stars.
Practically stars right now.
Yeah. So congratulations to Brad Biederman. Brad Biederman. Is that his name?
Yeah, that's it.
And Gabby Boyd. You have won the coveted Dagnabbit Boys Comedian of the Week.
They both won?
Yes. Because it was a tie.
Oh my God, our first tie.
It was our first tie.
Wow.
And congrats. I mean, I'm sure you guys, we don't really have a prize.
No, we don't have a prize, but the prize is being the comedian of the week.
And that's really all you need, really.
Sure, anybody watching would agree with our decision. Because how can you choose between those 2? I mean, choosing between the 3 is easy. But
super
between
easy.
Those 2,
it's so impossible to choose. We were like, we're not going to do it.
We're not, because we wouldn't want to make somebody feel bad.
Yeah, I never
them off.
Yes, I would never. The thing is with Gabby and Brad is, you just don't want to make them feel bad about who they are.
No, and they're good friends of yours.
Yeah, you'd never, and I have a lot of respect for them.
Uh-huh.
And I would never try to lop off somebody I have a lot of respect for. So that's what I would say. I would never try to deny them the victory.
That would be some sort of cruel prank.
Yeah. And
it would. You know what's fucked up about it is if you did that, which you didn't.
I did not.
If you did,
even if I did, I don't think enough about the other person to really even conceptualize it. So it doesn't feel like I did.
You wouldn't know if you did.
I would have no clue.
So who's to say you did? Yeah. But if you did, it would be such a cruel prank because you'd be doing it just to make them feel bad. Because that's
Thank God I don't do that.
But why would you?
Yeah. So what you would say the same about a tie? About a tie?
Oh, obviously.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, I think the way you played it, I mean, we also talked about this for, I'd like to say hours, but it was a really easy decision, actually.
We talked about, who should win. Gabby or Brad?
Yeah,
that's who we talked about. Yeah. We had a big long.
And I don't want to name
text.
I don't want to name any names, but there was one of the 3, and I'm not going to name any names, but there was one of the 3 that it was an easy decision that they could not win. They,
and I mean,
inherently lack the ability to even be up for a nomination.
Well, they lack the ability to win anything.
Right.
They can't really win. Even if they got first place in something, they would never win because they're just not a winner type of mentality.
No, they could win a foot race,
yeah,
and the officials of the event would just have to give it to somebody else because the crowd would be like,
it wouldn't
what?
be fair.
They'd be like, what?
That guy?
Why that guy?
What's up with him?
What's his problem?
Yeah.
I hate him. I hate that guy so much. Whoever that is, and I'm not going to name names.
Yeah. We don't, let's censor the other name if we can.
We're probably going to
bleep it out.
Probably got to bleep it out. I consider their name a cuss word.
Yeah. So we can't say it in the first 5 minutes of the pod.
No. And why would we? People would stop listening.
Yeah, let's just call it the E word. Or the L word.
And I do not say the L word.
I don't say it. I don't say the E or the L word.
It represents hate.
Yeah.
Represents violence. Represents a lack of thought. It represents thinking a lack of empathy is cool.
I mean, an evil man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so reverse nomination, reverse win to Bleep Lutsky or Eli Bleep.
I get so angry when I talk about him. I do get pretty pissed. I almost don't want to.
Okay, so we're coming to the end of the episode. I have to pee.
Yeah, this is the end of the episode.
Yeah,
The episode's over.
Yeah, the episode's
I
over.
don't know why you're still watching.
Yeah, what are you doing? Go.
Stop watching.
Stay funny.
The episode's over.
Stay funny.
Stay funny.